up, Wendy Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans Inc. and anime and manga contributor to Bounding into Comics. And man, it looks like Akira Toriyama has done it again, because Dragon Ball Superhero has foreshadowed a new era of Japanese anime, a 3D era of Japanese anime. Oh God. But before I get into this, let me just remind you to hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored. If you love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking, so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be for live reactions or news and analysis like this video, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below, as well as the links to the articles that we're going to be discussing up in here. So, okay. So I was, looking around on Japanese Twitter, because I have a way of doing that. And it really works out wonderful for me. And I saw this interview on Shueisha, and I was just like, okay, I have to cover this. Because the article is titled, Will 3D Save Japanese 2D Animation? Akira Toriyama, the original creator, also praised the film. How Dragon Ball Superhero was created, foreshadowing a new era of Japanese anime. I was like, okay, I have to cover this. Especially since for those of you that don't know, when I went to Crunchyroll Expo in 2018, and I went to the IG production panel, and that's where I met the VP Maki. She's so awesome. She was saying that there was a shortage of 2D animation artists, and that's what caused a lot of animation companies to start transitioning into 3D, was because of that. And I was curious if this article was going to discuss that or not. So I was like, okay, I have to talk about it, one, because it's Dragon Ball, so of course I gotta talk about it for that reason. And two, I want to see if that gets brought up at all. So anyways, the person that is going to be interviewed up in here was interviewed by Shueisha Online. Was, oh my gosh, let me make sure I have the person up in here, was Tomohiro Hayashida, who is the producer of Dragon Ball Superhero and has been working on Dragon Ball films since Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of F in 2015. Here we go. Okay, so let's get into this interview. So what was the path taken to fully incorporate 3D, animation in Dragon Ball Superhero? There was a lot of opposition within Toei Animation to adopting 3D, but there were several people in upper management who said, give it a try. Yeah, so it was upper management that gave the push. Yeah, and you know what? It makes me wonder if it was the same thing for Saint Seiya, because I know from an interview I read in regards to Saint Seiya that there was some opposition in regards to that too. But there was that push, and I'm not just talking about the CGI Saints. Oh, that bastardization of Saint Seiya. Nah, because I know there's a lot of people at Toei that do like Saint Seiya from the interviews I read. I'm telling you that upper management is trouble. They are trouble. Oh, I'm gonna say this in regards to this with Dragon Ball Superhero. This was a happy accident. Let's be real. This was a happy accident. With Saint Seiya, though, not. Whoever is doing that shit to Saint Seiya needs to be fired. Let's be clear. Anyways, several people at upper management who said give it a try and began production of the pilot version in June 2014. This started in June 2014. Then we were able to show it for the first time to Shueisha's Dragon Ball office and Mr. Toriyama around 2016. We made a total of 4 pilot films, which were checked each time and received a go sign. Wow. Go figure. What pilot version did you finally get the okay from Mr. Toriyama? Well, it was the pilot version that Tetsuro Kodama, the director of the current Dragon Ball Superhero, worked on. We received an answer along the lines of, if you develop the game based on this, we might be able to create a good work. Oh my with. Hold on. I gotta make sure that that is an accurate translation because I just translated it straight up into DeepL because Google Translate is not the best with certain things when it comes to translating these articles. So, is that really for real? It just says if you develop based on this. It came based on this. Oh, God. I'm sorry, that shit's just funny. I know, it's probably it's not a game. It's probably just a movie. It's supposed to be a movie. But I just thought, oh, that's just so fucking funny. I'm not sorry for laughing at this, because let's be fucking real. The first time I saw wait, why am I saying super? When I first saw Dragon Ball Superhero, I was thinking to myself, damn, that looks like a nice PlayStation 3 game. Oh, God. Okay. Let's see. What did Mr. Toriyama appreciate more than the previous pilot version? The movement of the characters. He appreciated the way we were able to combine the best aspects of hand-drawn animation with the realistic action of, the new expression. Mr. Kodama is one of the few people in the industry who has been studying 3D celluloid animation for a long time, so I think his experience was put to full use. Yeah, from what I've seen of, because I know, I'm gonna get a lot of shit. But at the same time, I'm actually kind of happy that I didn't see... I've seen clips of Dragon Ball Superhero. God damn it, I keep getting it mixed up with Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Because I love that manga so much. God damn it, I need to stop getting it mixed up with Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Because that manga is so good. I feel like it's just like with everything Dragon Ball as of late, I've just been reading the manga, and I've been getting, like, a really good experience from it. And because of what the new arc is going to be doing, I feel like I'm going to enjoy it a lot more. At least in my opinion. Let's see. Toriyama-sensei, you praised it highly in your Dragon Ball Superhero recommendation comments, didn't you? Let's see. That's right. When I received his praise comment from Shueisha, I was extremely surprised to see it written on A4 size sheet of paper. It made me exceptionally happy. I personally thought that this film was the best what? I personally thought that this film was the best of the Dragon Ball film version, but apart from the audience's point of view, what do you think Mr. Toriyama, who wrote the original story and script, liked about the film? Okay, I'm going to say this right now. Story-wise, I can maybe agree from what I've read in terms of the story, because I may have not seen the movie, but I have read, like, the story and whatnot. I know the plot. I may agree with the story. The story, okay, I can easily get behind that being one of the better movies, okay? But the visuals, I'm sorry. You are not gonna tell me that these visuals are better than, like, Battle of Gods. No way. I still would say, like, or Broly. Because Broly looked real... I didn't watch all of Broly either. I'm sorry. I know, you can hate me all you want, but I didn't watch all... I've seen bits and pieces, but I didn't watch all of Broly. I was hoping it was going to get a manga adaptation, and then I was robbed of that! I'm still mad that I was robbed of that! Damn you for that, Toriyama and Toyotaro, for doing that shit to me! I wanted to have a Broly adaptation, but it is what it is. Maybe eventually we'll get it. But where is I going with this? Oh, now I remember where I was going with this. But, like, you can't tell me that this was better than at least you can't tell me this was better than Battle of Gods. Battle of Gods was gorgeous. Resurrection of F, maybe. Maybe I'll give you leeway on Resurrection of F. But you can't tell, Battle of Gods was better than this. I'm not sorry for saying it. Battle of Gods was definitely better. Broly, it's up to you what you guys think about Broly. If you guys think Broly was better in terms of art and animation. But, Battle of Gods was better. Not sorry. Let's see. I think the unification of the picture design was a major factor. Toriyama-sensei and Shueisha have always said that they wanted to eliminate the unevenness in the drawings from scene to scene. In other words, they wanted a uniformity in the picture design. I see. In that case, in the case of manga, the artist style basically unifies the entire work, doesn't it? For creators whose main field of work is manga, it seems to be very strange to have the design change from scene to scene. It is true that animation creators have the feeling that as long as we have can have an exhibition of divine artwork, it is fine if the artwork differs slightly from scene to scene. However, in order to eliminate the sense of variation in the drawings, cell look animation with the introduction of 3D was a style that was extremely compatible. Here's my thing in regards to that. What I want when it comes to an anime adaptation of a manga, would I like it to look like I want it to look like the manga, at least in terms of the character designs, at least. But, like, I want you to take, to me, manga is, I say it a lot, but God damn it, I'm going to say it again here. Manga is the blueprint. I want you to take that blueprint and adapt it into the medium of animation and enhance it and upgrade it. And I've seen it a few times where it happens. It's sad that it's rare nowadays for it to happen, but it does happen. Like, great examples of recent ones would be like Kaguya-sama Love is War is a really decent one. But the ones that really stick out in my mind and will always stick out in my mind are like Hoseki no Kuni, March Comes in Like a Lion. The second season of Main Abyss was ass. First season of Main Abyss. Where was there another one I had? Oh God, March Comes in Like a Lion was so goddamn good. I just keep thinking of oh my God. But yeah, those are the ones that really stand out to me. Hakumei no Mikochi is okay. There was some writing problems, but some of the art in there, oh my God, it was so good. At times it was just, but then at other times it was like, damn it. But, and you can make, Fire Force had writing problems. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is hit or miss. I'm going to be real with you. It is very hit or miss with JoJo. Deal with it. This is just my opinion. Let's see. On the other hand, animation fans enjoy guessing which staff member was in charge of a scene by asking, was this scene drawn by Mr. XX? XX, on the other hand, it is difficult to create divine drawings. Yes, it is! That anime fans can enjoy by guessing the staff members in charge of the scenes. Yep, it is good. Wait, hold on. Did this fucking go twice? God damn it! Oh, well. Ah, God damn it. Why'd you do that shit? Yeah, okay. Okay. Yes, that's right. Especially in the stop animation, there is a difference. When compared to the work of geniuses who are called super animators, we cannot compete as a single picture. Yeah. In terms of being able to move a picture with a uniform pattern, the 3D cell look has a definite advantage. I think this will be an issue for the future. Here's the problem with being able to move a picture with a uniform pattern. Sometimes it has to, for pictures to move, to not be so, oh wait, warnings, holy shit, what was it? The problem is when you have that, is it makes it look really stiff. You don't get the same fluidity, if you, compared to if you didn't have like a very uniform pattern. That's the problem that's been happening in a lot of these, 3D, animes, is that it's very, 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 very stiff. And let's be fucking real, there's a lot of stiff-ass art in manga as well. Oh my God, there is, and it tortures the hell out of me. And it happens in manga, too. Manga, I mean, you ain't alone. You knew I was going to include manga in this. But yeah, I have to deal with it constantly. So no, I'm not just picking on anime. Manga and manga have it too. Here we go. Toei Animation is one of the original Japanese animation studios, and they still produce a lot of hand-drawn animation. Does Dragon Ball Superhero make use of such traditional hand-drawn animation techniques? We have people who have been drawing Dragon Ball for decades, so their presence was very important. No matter how good a person is at drawing, he or she cannot draw Dragon Ball right away. Of course, we had to reproduce Mr. Toriyama's unique touch, but there are also many unique aspects to the action. Yeah, I'm going to be real with you. Toyotaro still can't get all of Toriyama's unique aspects correctly. Tell me I'm wrong. I want to know. For those of you that read Dragon Ball Super manga, you know this is true. Sometimes the actions in the Dragon Ball Super manga are stiff as hell. Oh God, yes they are, and I call it out. Right, kitties? Let's see. What is the role of the artist in this project? Here we go. They are the animation directors. They drew the front, side, and back views of the characters, and after receiving the okay from Shueisha for all the characters, we began the modeling process. Normally, we would have modeled the characters as they were based on a single drawing, and then worked on the modeling from there. But for Dragon Ball Superhero, we first included the process of creating hand-drawn 3D view drawings. Or no, it says 3D drawings, there we go, in order to create a common understanding of Toriyama Sensei's drawings for the 3D modeling. The presence of veterans with the know-how of Dragon Ball was a great advantage in this process, obviously. In addition, the animation supervisors were given detailed instructions on how to correct the visuals for each scene and cut, and were directed to make the pictures look more like Dragon Ball. So you animated the characters and decided on the camera work, and then fine-tuned the picture so they would look right for the cell look Dragon Ball. There we go. That's right. The animation director made corrections to each frame, including hairstyles and contours, and the animators made adjustments accordingly. So the new technology and the hand-drawn drawings that have been cultivated over many years were combined in this work, and it was clear that this was a work that expressed the charm of Dragon Ball in a completely new way. On the other hand, the high-quality hand-drawn prologue of the Dragon Ball story leading up to this work showed me the strength of the power of 2D animation. That part was done by one of the staff members. I really wanted to be a part of this film. Of course it was Kubota. Of course it was Kubota that did that. Animation director Kubota, yeah. He was assigned to this part in response to Mr. Kubota's request to draw a series of hand-drawn scenes. It was only a 2-minute video, but even after the post-performance part was completed, only the prologue was still not finished. But I think the picture is worth it. I honestly thought it was the most amazing image among all the Dragon Ball-related images we've made so far. Or we've had so far. The level of hand drawing is outstanding. That was truly amazing. It is truly a divine drawing. So now, this is going to be, now we get to the second part. The second part, when I was translating it, I was fucking dying. It is hilarious. Because, woo, they go the fuck in on American animation. I was dead. I was goddamn dead. So here we go. I feel that the basic style of animation in the world is the 3D style of Pixar's works. Yes, and by the way, it is Pixar's fault, for those of you that don't know, that there's a 2D animation artist shortage. It's their fucking fault. Pixar's works. In contrast, what are the advantages of adopting a celluloid look, which is the expression of Japanese animation? The biggest advantage is the strength of the characters. I feel that polygon look like Pixar's lacks variety in character modeling. Pixar! You just got destroyed. No matter which studio makes the film, there are always similar characters, so it is difficult to feel emotionally involved in the film. Oh, Pixar! Woo! Even in well-known works, when I try to remember the main character's face, I can't recall it clearly. Fish, you just got, wow! Okay, now let's get, here we go. Now it's gonna get even fucking more brutal. Oh gosh. Indeed, if you ask me, many of the polygon look, animated films have characters that I can only vaguely recall. This is the interviewer saying this. Woody from Toy Story, Lightning from Cars, and Minions all have an impact, but they're all, they're all mascot characters. Dude, Pixar! You getting destroyed right now. This is sad. And also Illumination knows they are fucking mascot characters. They don't give a fuck. But Pixar, I feel embarrassed that this motherfucker here just said that you were a mascot character. Lightning McQueen, yeah, I think Pixar knows about that one. Pixar knows about Lightning McQueen, but Woody, oh my god, the fact that Woody is a mascot character. That's sad. Look what doing 4 Toy Stories did to you, Pixar. Oh my god. That is sad. That is so sad that 4 Toy Stories did this to you, Woody. I feel like my childhood's being torn apart. That's so sad. I was shocked by Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but that film also had celluloid or comic book look, and Penny Parker had a Japanese anime style look. Perhaps foreign studios also feel the weakness of the polygon look. Yeah! Spider-Verse getting love, especially Penny Parker. Penny Parker's everything. I see, indeed. Penny Parker was very impressive. The other advantage with the 3D celluloid look is camera work. The camera can be placed anywhere, and conversely, it cannot lie. It cannot lie. This allows us to combine the strength of the characters that is only possible with the celluloid look, with a sense of spatial realism that cannot be expressed with hand-drawn animation. Wait a minute! Did this motherfucker just really say this for real? This motherfucker really just said that this allows us to combine the strength of the characters that is only possible with the celluloid look with a sense of spatial realism that cannot be expressed with hand-drawn animation? The fuck are you talking about? My dude, what are you talking about with this? I have seen a lot more realism in hand-drawn, at least in hand-drawn manga art than I have seen in animation recently. And, I'm sorry, it's CGI animation recently. The fuck are you talking about? I'm not gonna lie, I've seen a lot more, on the realism side. You can see a lot more on the realism side with, hand-drawn animation than CGI. You know why? And you know how I know why? I always refer to Oseki no Kuni on this. You know why? Because with Oseki no Kuni, you have to use a combination from what Orange told me. And I bring this up every time I talk about CGI, because I will never forget that shit that Studio Orange told me directly. Was that in order for you to get texture, whether it be in the grass that they used in the meadows in the fields, whether it be for the fur and the creatures that they had, they used, guess what? Hand-drawn animation. You can't just use CGI. You can't. If you want to get realism, you have to use some form of hand-drawn animation. You can't just have CGI for it. It just doesn't work. This motherfucker want to talk about realism. You want to talk about spatial realism, especially? Mofo, no. You have to have some form of 2D realism with the CGI. If you're going to do CGI, you have to have hand-drawn 2D animation with it. You can't just do it with CGI. There's no way to do it. And shit, you can do spatial. I don't know what he's talking about with that. You can't just do spatial realism with 2D alone. That's a load of bullshit. I don't know what you're talking about. You have to do extra. Sure, you gotta do extra line work for it, and it takes a little bit more time. But yeah, you can do it. It's a lot, and yes, granted, it's a lot harder. Guess what? You know who did it? and it was hard. It was hard as fuck. I can imagine. Was when Barada animated one of his well, let's be real, it was just an animated panel. But it was an animated page in One Punch Man with when Garo and Saitama were fighting in this cloud. Oh god, it was so freaking cool. But give me a goddamn break. You can't have spatial realism with only 2D or with only hand-drawn animation. That's a load of bullshit and you know it. You are full of shit, bro. In Dragon Ball Superhero, in addition to the characters and camera work, I felt that the action was also excellent. For example, when the character does a spinning kick, the camera turns with him, which is difficult to that's a lot of bullshit. Stop it. With hand-drawn action. That's a lot. You can say that's difficult with hand-drawn action. That's difficult with 3D action too. Just stop. Hand-drawn action. However, the characters' movements themselves are not the slimy movements characteristic of 3D, but are thoroughly hand-drawn animation-like movements. The film is shot in 24 frames per second, but you dare not to move all the frames, didn't you? It's shot in 24 frames per second? Really? Right. There's CGI video games that run faster than that. Like, dude, there's like PlayStation 2 games that I think ran faster than that. What are you doing here? Now you know why I compare this to like a PlayStation 3 game or a PS2 game. Like, what the fuck is this? That's right. In accordance with the tradition of Japanese animation called limited animation, some scenes, except for the action scenes, are moved at 12. What the fuck is this? 12 frames per second? What? Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Should I wait a little bit longer for this? Because they went in on orange a little bit, so I feel like I'm gonna have to wait. I gotta wait until they go in on rotoscoping, and then I'm gonna go in on them on this fuckery. 12 frames per second. In this way, the scenes are not so anime in the sense of being animated. That was so stupid, so cheesy. In addition, actual humans and polygon look cartoon characters always move slightly due to breathing, etc. But in this work, the characters are hand drawn. Let's see. We made the characters stop exactly where they are supposed to stop, just like in hand-drawn animation. Even if it were more natural, it would still be uncomfortable when viewed in the context of animation. Similarly, we did not dare to use motion capture. It would have been easier to use motion capture to create precise movements. See, now this is where they're going on orange. But in order to keep the movements consistent with an anime feel through the entire film, we decided to use manual animation. Mofo, now you're going in on orange. You are, because those that don't know, Hoseki no Kuni, which is CGI, which is not CGI anime, minus like a few things with the 2D hand-drawn, minus some hand-drawn stuff for texture and shit. They used rotoscope for the gems, and that's how they got really beautiful and smooth, like, action sequences. Motherfucker, you guys are stupid! Why wouldn't you use rotoscoping? That was stupid! Why wouldn't you use that? And also, you want to talk about using 12 frames per second? Mofo, you have no excuse for this! None! Because I say this every time I see, like, really shitty CGI, especially, I'm looking at you, Bleach. Orange had a very small budget compared to, say, like Bleach, and compared to Dragon Ball Superhero. Hoseki no Kuni was their first anime, their first all CGI anime, and they did it with a little budget, and they did it with rotoscoping. So, what the actual fuck are you talking about? Like, this is just... Oh, God. I can't stand Toei. You guys are so stupid. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you, if you were going to get, like, more accurate movement, and you wanted realism, Why wouldn't you use rotoscoping? And also, that would be less stressful on your animators. That is so stupid. Why would you do, and you would save money? I just don't get it. These guys are, especially when this is a fighting series. Hoseki no Kuni has a lot of combat, so yeah, they did the studio. That's another reason why Studio Orange did rotoscoping, was for that reason. Mofo, why wouldn't you do rotoscoping? That was so stupid. On the other hand, the people in the background of the main characters speaking their lines tend to remain still in hand-drawn animation, but in this work they continue to act in the background, which is impressive. That was exactly the point that people involved in various areas were pleased with. It's not easy to do this with hand-drawn animation because the number of drawings would be extremely large. Yeah, and but you would rather have, instead of saving, time and effort and do rotoscoping and motion capture to make it easier on your fucking artists. So stupid. From what you've said so far, it seems that Dragon Ball Superhero is much more expensive to produce than if it were completely hand drawn. On the other hand, is it possible to utilize the assets you have created for the characters and backgrounds for the TV series and the new movie? Are you fucking serious? My point! My point is being proven! What the fuck? You would have said, you are talking about all this other bullshit, and you would have saved money if you just would have went hand-drawn? What the fuck is wrong with you? What's the point? You would have saved money just rotoscoping. On the other hand, is it possible to utilize the assets you have created for the characters and backgrounds for the TV series of the new movie? The assets we created this time are truly assets, and there are many that can be used as in the future, so we should be able to lower production costs. Why would you just fucking do... Oh my god! Toei, you guys are so stupid! Why? Oh my god, these people are so stupid. Why would you just not... This motherfucker just said that it's just cheaper to use 2D animation. Why not just use hand-drawn animation if it's cheaper? I don't understand this. This logic is so stupid. Oh my god, Toei, you guys are stupid as fuck. And I don't think it's this guy's fault, let's be real. This is upper management. Upper management at Toei needs to be fired. These motherfuckers need to be fired. It's their fault. They're the ones that wanted this. I'm telling you, it's these... Oh my god, the upper management at Toei needs to be fired so bad. Oh my god, they need to be fired like nobody's business. Oh my fucking god. Can the 3D models of the characters you created be used for figurines, etc.? This time it was You can't even make figurines with that? Like, god damn it, these people are stupid! This time it was too late to do so, but I think it is possible for the future. Figurines take a long time to make molds, so if we can use the model data to support the production, I think it would be a great benefit. Why didn't you think about doing that in the first place? Fucking idiots. Incidentally, all the materials used in the production of related products for Dragon Ball Superhero were created based on model data rather than being hand-drawn. Oh my god, I can't with this. Toei, I can't with you. Is there an increase in the number of 3D staff within Toei Animation? Over the past 10 years, the number of staff has increased tremendously, and we are now one of the largest 3D staffs in Japan. What did I freaking tell you? In the 3D world, there are super players who can only be created by that person, and we are competing with studios not only in Japan, but also all over the world for them. Yeah, so expect more like horrible CGI out of Toei. I think that, well, obviously, because look at fucking Saint Seiya. Oh my god, I'm so fucking pissed about that shit. Oh my god. I think that the demand for 3D and oh my god, interviewer, I fucking hate you for this. I think that the demand for 3D and its creators will increase in the future. Toei Animation is a long-established 2D animation company, but you will see great potential in 3D, don't you? I think it's an area with a lot of potential. This time it took a lot of time and cost. It took a lot of time and cost. Why would you do 3D then? Why not just train? Like, because there's a 2D artist shortage. Why not just train 2D artists? Why is this hard? This time it took a lot of time and cost, but as the performance computers and of computers and software improves, what we can do will expand. The speed will increase and the cost will become cheaper. So I have high expectations for this area. Bro, just train 2D artists! Jesus Christ! Whether or not we will be able to make many more celluloid films utilizing 3D in the future depends on how Dragon Ball Superhero is judged, but it has received quite good reviews around the world and has received the highest points in the history of Dragon Ball on major movie evaluation sites in various countries. However, the film has received quite good reviews around the world. I feel like Dragon Ball Superhero could be an epoch-making film with the potential to become a major turning point in animation. Oh god, no. No, 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 no. See, you guys are so stupid. If anything was going to be like a huge turning point in CGI animation, that would have been Hoseki no Kuni back in 2017. That was that turning point. Everyone knew, like, even, I know it was a niche anime, sure, but, like, everyone in the anime world that I knew, or, like, Annie-Twit, like, the real Annie-Twit, and I think even Anime Reddit, too, if I remember correctly, they knew about Hoseki no Kuni. They knew, more people are starting to know about how good Hoseki no Kuni is. They know. I'm telling you, if you go watch Hoseki no Kuni and compare that to Dragon Ball Superhero, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. And understand why, especially knowing that Studio Orange had a small-ass budget compared to this, and they rotoscoped, and they used 2D hand-drawn animation for texture. Why it's better than Toei is being a bunch of fucking idiots. Why are you wasting your money like this? You could be saving that money and putting it towards, like, I don't know, putting it towards projects like the sequel to Digimon Tamers that, like, me and a lot of other Digimon fans want. You could actually put it towards a Saint Seiya anime that people want and not this stupid bullshit. Oh, that would require actually listening to Saint Seiya fans, but you don't give a fuck about Saint Seiya. You never given a fuck about Saint Seiya. If you were smart, you would just sell the Saint Seiya property to a studio that actually cared about the fucking property. I'm so tired of this stupid shit. No idea it was Saint Seiya. Now, but again, this shit pisses me off. It does. You motherfuckers might have gotten lucky. Again, they got lucky with this. This was a happy accident with Dragon Ball Superhero. They are no Studio Orange. No, ma'am. You are no Studio Orange. Some of the shit that was said in this interview, my God. My God, you wish you had, as from what I saw, as pretty as some of that, I will acknowledge, some of that CGI looked nice, but that ain't got nothing, especially in terms of the combat. Bitch, that ain't got nothing on any of the fights in Hoseki no Kuni. Nah, that shit is stiff compared to the stuff in Hoseki no Kuni. Hands down. And that was in 2017. And also, that pissed me off about the spatial realism. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That 2D animation can't do spatial realism. Since when? Again, I don't think it is all this mofo's fault. I really, really don't. I don't think it is. I feel like part of it is upper management's fault. And let's be real, this motherfucker exposed upper management He did? Hayashida, I will give you that. You expose these motherfuckers to the piece of shit they are. Oh my god. Dude, Toei, I'm telling you, the current management of Toei is going to run this freaking studio into the ground. They're already running Saint Seiya into the ground. If they do more of this fuckery, especially since they're wasting so much money, like, he said that they fucking said it'd be cheaper to use 2D animation. When it is that, they're spending that much money? That's a problem. It's cheaper to use fucking rotoscope. I mean, look at Hosoka no Kuni. It's cheaper to use rotoscope and get the motion capture for something like this. And also would probably look even better. I don't know why you didn't do that. Toei, you guys are fucking stupid. Oh my god, Toei is stupid. I'm telling you, until that upper management is gone, Toei is going to be a hot mess. Toei, you need to fire your upper management so bad. It is being badly ran over there. Oh my god, it is. Until that upper management is gone, whew. That's the main thing I got from this. It would have just been cheaper to do 2D than it would have been to do 3D. What the fuck is wrong with you, Toei? Oh my god, you're fucking stupid for this. Oh my god. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about the fact that this would have been cheaper to just have it in a hand-drawn 2D animation compared to the CGI that they did? And do you guys think that things are not going to get better at Toei? Do you guys think the current management at Toei is going to just run this studio into the ground with their spending? That's what it seems like to me. I think they're just taking, and that's even with the amount of profit they made from all the freaking, because they made a lot of money from Dragon Ball Superhero. They had high-ass production costs. They're not going to be making that much money back. That sucks. You guys are stupid. Toei, you are fucking stupid. Should have just... You mofos need to learn from Studio Orange. That's all I can say. Learn from Studio Orange, and also you dump... Hayashida, if you really believe this shit that you were saying, then fuck you. If you are just saying what management is telling you, or like, hell, you're just trying to expose management, then that's a whole different story. And I'm feeling like it's more the latter than the former. Could be both, but it really feels like it's more like he's just saying what upper management is saying. Especially with what was said at the beginning, that a lot of the people at Toei did not want to do this. They don't like the CG. They don't like the 3D animation. Yeah, it feels like he's exposing upper management. It really does. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is Hayashida exposed upper management like I do? Do you think that that Toei's gonna just, until upper management is gone, Toei is gonna just keep running itself into the ground? And what do you think about this? Do you guys think that this, based on what was said, do you think they should have just gone all 2D? Obviously, they could have mixed like a little bit of 3D here and there. Yeah, sure, they could have done that, but dude, based on what it is saying, it seems like they should have just gone all hand-drawn. It's ridiculous. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. If you love what we're doing, I want to help keep this operation alive and kicking, so I can keep bringing you more Dragon Ball content. A few ways you could do that: donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off our Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Until next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.